Hello there. A few people have been asking about, the Coal Baron, the new version of Coal Baron, just should be delivered to most people by now. And if you haven't, well, I hope you get it soon. But a lot of people have been asking about, want to compare the differences in the quality of components and just overall the differences between the original here and the new one over there, which, like I said, I'm sure you have in front of you. So yeah, this is the box of the original. As far as the artwork, I don't know. I almost like the original artwork better. I just feel, I don't know. You can see them down in the mine. I think it's kind of cool, and like I said, a little bit of a transport and the workers there. I mean, this is cool too. It's got the trucks of coal and the people and stuff. But anyway. You'll have to bear with me. This is kind of shaky. I'm trying to film this one hand. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set this down real quick. Okay. So, of course, here we have the instruction booklet. It's not super thin. It's not super thick, I should say. I don't know. You probably can't really see it that well. I would say it's probably almost roughly the same thickness as the one that you get. It's a little bit different, style. But it still gets the point across, I wouldn't say one rule book is better than the other, but anyway. Don't really care about the rule book, right? You care about the other stuff, right? Okay. So here we have the board of the original one. You can kind of see down here. Of course, there's the money. There's where the contracts go. Interesting. This is where you keep score, or all the scores and the rounds. You can see. So yeah, you can see like I said, the rounds over here. There's the first round and the second round. Has this little arrow thing. You picture my finger as an arrow, and you would kind of. Well, this is not going good. You just kind of twist it. Obviously, it doesn't actually connect. It just sits on top, and you just rotate it. As compared to the other one, the new one. Like I said, we got a separate little board. I'm kind of mixed about it. I don't know. I kind of like it on the board here. I feel like it's easier not to forget. But there is room on the I found on the new board, and also the playmat that you could kind of fit it. I'll show it. I don't know. It's kind of okay, but anyway. And of course, over here is pretty much the same as well. Here's where the coal cars, go. The mining, and then of course, the same. The numbers around the corners here of the board. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Oh, by the way, I guess I should mention. Hang on a second here. The board thickness. I think that, of course, this is the new board. Oh, you can see it. You can already see the crease. You can kind of see it here. The crease is pretty. It's not a very sturdy crease. It's already, it already wants to warp and, act weird when you're trying to set it flat on of course, this isn't a flat surface right here. This is the top of the box, but you get the point. I was thinking the material is a little cheaper, a little thinner. You probably can't really tell. You can kind of tell there. So now I'm going to compare just the thicknesses of the boards. Bear with me. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to kind of tell. Actually, you can kind of already tell just from this. You can kind of see, once again, I apologize for the quality. The board on the right, the one that's bowed, is the new one. The one on the left is the original one. If I can get this to focus. Yoo-hoo, focus. Yeah, I don't know if you can really tell, but anyway, but the the gist of it is I think the original board here is a much better board than the new one that came with the new version of Coal Baron. Now, of course, you have the playmat, and I'm not going to show that because obviously people should, um, you know, have the playmat. Well, I'll show the playmat. I mean, it's virtually the same, but it's the same as the board. So this is the playmat that I don't remember if it came with the game or if it was a deluxe thing. I don't really remember. It's been a little bit, but I think it was deluxe. But you can see here, it's the same thing. You got the coal section. Actually, here's the difference. Like I said, right here, as you saw in the original, that's where the scoreboard was. Like I said, now they just have a Coal Baron logo, which I think that's okay. And like I said, here's where of course, it's where you go to actually sell your contracts or fulfill them, I should say. Of course, the mining, the money, and of course the contracts go over here. And then of course the scoring is still around the sides. The playmat is definitely better than the board. I would definitely recommend if you had the playmat to use that instead of the new board, if you had the option to do that. Okay. Okay, I just realized that was the other thing I wanted to show is for the new board. Whoops. It's upside down. My bad. Let's see here. Where's the score tracker? Yes, here it is. Once again, I apologize. I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible. So here is the board. You can kind of see it, zoomed out a little bit. Anyway, so here's the score marker that comes with the new one, the new Coal Baron. And the spot that I found that you could use it, like I said, you could just, put it on the bottom there, which I think that's fine, or off to, one of the sides, or even the top if you want. But I found you could also just kind of, tuck it in, right about there. That's almost the center of the board. See, there's one edge, there's the other. And you almost put the edge of it up to where the corner of this first coal car spot is. And I feel like it fits there okay. It's right there in the middle. Of course, it kind of clusters the board some. So, that's up to personal preference there. But anyway. Let's see here. Now moving on to components. Components. All right, here. So yeah, back to components. Here's the money that came with the original. It's kind of a paper money, almost very much like a Monopoly feel to it. Here's a one, 1 franc, and then I don't know. I think the artwork is pretty much the same on all of them. I don't think there's any different artwork. There's a 2. I guess it's maybe a little different. And then, like I said, this is the original money that comes in the original game. And somewhere there's 5s. I don't know where they are. Oh, here they are. They got kind of mixed up. There's a 5. Okay, I guess they did make them different. Okay, I didn't really pay that close attention. So, of course, obviously, here's the new money for the new Coal Baron. That was the original money. This is the new money, as I'm sure you all have seen. Like I said, if you have it, if you compare the ones to this one. Let's see here. So you can see there's the original one. And of course, there's the paper money, the other paper money that came with the new one. I think the artwork is better, of course, on this one. And the paper quality is, I think, actually better on the new money than the original. They're about the same size, almost, you can see. Yeah, they overlap pretty much exactly the same. Virtually almost the same thickness. Yeah, like I said, I think the newer money is definitely gonna last longer than this stuff. Like I said, this stuff's like Monopoly money, you know. I think this has a little bit more, some sort of varnish or something, make it a little smoother, a little more protected. And of course, if you paid the money, you know, you got the actual metal coins, which I highly, I hope you did. I highly recommend that you did, because metal money is always the best. I think it's always cool. But so here's, you know, some of the metal money. If you didn't purchase any of the metal money, so you know we got the 1 coins, almost like a penny, and then another penny. I think this gold one is the 5, I believe. Oh, my bad, out of focus. Yeah, the 2 on the left are the pennies. The one in the middle is the 2, and the one right here on my thumb, that's the 5. They got a little bit of weight to them. They feel almost about the size of a penny, I guess I would say. And they virtually the same size as a penny. But yeah, I like I said, I think the metal money is definitely the way to go for longevity. But you know, like I said, the paper money that it comes with the new Coal Baron is definitely an upgrade compared to the original money that came with it. Okay, move on to coal. You know that the whole point of the game here is the coal. Okay, so this is the original coal that came with the original Coal Baron. You see, there's the yellow cube, the brown cube, black and gray, all representing their particular coal counterpart. They're just, you know, wooden cubes, standard wooden cubes. I don't know, you find really any kind of basic game. They're very basic, kind of boring, but you know, like I said, they get the point across. Like I said, I thought they were decent. I mean, they definitely last a while. You know, they're definitely very hardy. You know, they last a while. Now here is the coal from the new Coal Baron with the Kickstarter. Got the fancy, you know, actually kind of coal kind of shaped nuggets type things. You got the black, the gray, the yellow, and the brown. Definitely a very big upgrade. They're made out, I think, the same wood. They feel like it. These ones maybe have a little more varnish to them. Of course, they're a little bit bigger than the originals. You see here. And of course, kind of makes sense because these are square and these are kind of rounded. I don't know if you can tell there, but you can kind of see the difference there. You can see the new ones on the bottom of my hand are, like I said, a little bigger than the cubes. So a little bigger piece, a little nice. Like I said, I think the nuggets are definitely a very nice upgrade compared to the original. The original Coal Baron. But like I said, the new ones, like I said, very good. I like them. I have a lot of good memories, of course, with the original because that was the only version for a very long time. But yeah, a very good upgrade indeed. I think the quality of that was a very good upgrade. As like I said, you'll see this is a very mixed review once we get to the end. And I'll cover it a little more in depth at the very end. Colors. You can see here in front of me, this is the original game. The workers. And if I can get it here, bear with me. Here's the pieces. So right here, this little cylinder looking thing here, my thumb's holding. That is the workers. Those are the workers. And of course this disc, that's just the score marker for you know, around the board. Keep track of your score here. This is the score marker. This is the worker here. Like I said, just a cylinder thing. Actually, a similar piece came with the new version of Coal Baron. Very similar. It's exactly like this, same shape. It's like a tan piece. I think that's the turn marker. I haven't actually fully looked in depth, but it seems to make sense. I don't know what else it would be. But anyway, so yeah, these are this. Like I said, the workers and the turn marker. Sorry, not turn marker. Point marker for the player. And you can see they got white, orange, red, and blue as for colors. This is the original. Okay, the original. And of course, if you're sitting in front of your new game, of course, here's the new meeples that come with the new version of Coal Baron, actual true meeples. You know, you can see them. They're standard meeple with a little print, a little minor. Give me a second here. I'll pull one out for you. Oh, I just thought I'd pull out a couple to show you, and I just realized that so on the right is the blue meeple, and on the red seems to be the only one is a meeple, but it is not complete. It is much thinner than the other one. If I can hold it up here, you can see there's a difference. You can see the thick blue, very thin red. So this one didn't get, the red one didn't get, like I said, punched out or however the heck it is they make them in the artwork. It's not very good. But it only seems to be one part, so I guess you can't complain too much. But anyway, so these are the meeples that comes with the new Coal Baron. I definitely think they're an upgrade, just because they're more people shaped than the other ones just being cylinders. I think the printing on them is good. I don't think it's tremendous. I don't think it was necessary per se, but I do think it is a cool little touch. Okay, I guess we'll go over to just the kind of scoring components and other components that kind of lock down. Yeah, but it's just scoring stuff, starter player token, and a couple other things. So here we have, this is going to be one of the big differences that I'm going to show here in a second, that I think the new game got way worse than the original. So here is the original elevator shaft. You know, this is the thing that goes on the slide thing. You're going to slide up and down when you're, trying to get coal out of your mine to then fulfill contracts with. So this one is the original Coal Baron. This one right here, if I can get the camera focus. This one, this is the new one. I don't know. I just think it's kind of bland. Not a lot of detail. I can't really tell. I think there's chains. I guess it's supposed to be like a wooden box going up on chains, I suppose. I'm not really sure. But here's the two side by side. If I can get these two side by side. There we go. Put them down here. So here's the two elevator shafts right here. This one is the original Coal Baron. This is the new one from the new Coal Baron, the one that just got fulfilled recently. Like I said, you can see the differences. I clearly think this is the better elevator. That's just me. Once again, I'll go into that in deeper thoughts in the very end. But so that's the comparison to elevators. As far as the actual material goes, I think the material, I don't know. You can see they're roughly the same size. If I can get them to stick together here. They're roughly the same size. The new one's actually a little thicker. Slightly thicker. You can't really tell if I compare them, but it is slightly thicker. So, it's, like I said, the new one's slightly thicker, but I think the artwork is not as good. But anyway, so that's that. Here is you'll find this one, looks very familiar. You'll see it here. I'll pull it out here. So here we go. Here are two pieces. The one on the left, right there in the center of my palm of my hand, that's the new Coal Baron. The one on the right, that's the old one. These are the what do you call it? The round markers. Mark the rounds. Yeah, like I said, I think they're virtually the same. They're both the same wood. They both have the same, what do you call it? Varnish on them. They're both pretty much the same as far as quality goes. I think maybe the new one is a tiny bit smaller, maybe. Nah, I think they're both the same. But anyway, so that's the difference there. Those pieces are virtually exactly the same. Okay, I get this to focus. Here you'll see another pretty big difference. This is the start player token. So the one on the right here, that is the original. The one on the left, this is Coal Baron. That is the new version from the new Coal Baron. The original one is a piece of cardboard, a very thick piece of cardboard, as you can see, with some sort of varnish, material on it, and it's pretty durable. I gotta say, it's seen a decent amount of use, and you can see it's still in pretty good condition. I mean, I'm pretty careful with my components, but yeah. So anyway, so that's that, and so then moving on to the new one. The new one is kind of a metal-esque. I don't know how to really describe it. It doesn't feel super heavy. I guess it could be a light metal. I'm not really sure what kind. But you know, it's definitely more durable. You know, it's pretty decently thick. You know, I think it's a very nice upgrade. Just kind of cool. You know, got the little coal symbol there. You know, on it. You know, I think it's a cool upgrade. You know, I think it's nice, a nice addition. So the new one, so it's a new turn player marker, or start player marker, I should say. So now I'm gonna show. This is only really important if you play with less people. Now I'm gonna show the differences. You know, when you play a 2 or 3 player game, there's certain spots like this one right here. You know, it says 2 to 3. Same thing with the original, the new board. This is the original board. Anyway, so when you're playing with, you know, when you're playing with 2 or 3 people, you're supposed to lock that space out. So this is the original thing you use to lock stuff out. It's a little padlock symbol thing, cardboard shit. You know, once again, pretty thick. It has a varnish to it. Here's the new one that does the same exact thing. You know, you just put it, over that to block that space in a 2 or 3 player game. Like I said, over here, this is a 2 player game, so you would, you know, block that off with that. And same thing here, down here. This is a 2 to 3 player spot, so you would, you know, block that off like that. And you just wouldn't use that spot. Anyway, but like I said, they both do the same thing. As you can see, there they are side by side. This one's a lot thinner. Like, I mean, it's a lot thinner. Like, I don't know if I can really, once again, show this because it's kind of hard. And I'm not a professional, so once again, I apologize for any kind of shaking or anything like that. So you can see the one on the right is much thicker than the one on the left. And the one on the left is thinner. That's the newer one, the thinner one. They're virtually about the same size. Yeah, you put them over top of each other, they're pretty much the same. Like I said, I don't know. They're just a block at spaces. I don't really think they're that important of a component that, you know, one's better than the other. I mean, like I said, one's thicker, so I think the thicker one's probably a little better. That's in the original. But, you know, it still gets the job done. And if you didn't want to use that, you know, you could use something else to block spaces out. It's not that big a deal. Something I forgot to mention, here's the same token, Coal Baron starter token, but this is the cardboard one. This is the one that's going to come with the standard version of the game. Otherwise, if you got the deluxe like me, you'll get the metal one. So the metal one's on the right, cardboard one's on the left. And then once again, comparing the original one, the original start token on the right, so the new one on the left. They're actually, if you compare these two, they're almost the same type of quality. The new one is maybe a little thinner, but it's also round, So, kind of hard to compare that. And like I said, maybe it will last a little less longer, but it's still a decent starter token, like I said. And once again, that's really not that big a deal. You can use whatever piece you really wanted. If if it broke or got ruined or something, you could, use whatever you wanted for a start token. So that's not that big a deal. Here in my hand now, here's the score markers. The one right here, the big arrow, that's from the original. The one on the left is the lantern. That's the premium token. Like I said, if you didn't buy the deluxe one, you'd be using that wooden piece I showed earlier. The piece that was the same in both of the games. You'd be using that for your marker. Like I said, but you would do this. So once again, this is the original board. Okay, so here's the original marker. This is what I was talking about earlier, but like I said, so you put it there like a little clock thing, and of course you're going to set it to number 1 over here, because there's, you're starting, or actually no, I'm sorry, you point it there, because you're starting at the first round of 3, and like I said, then when you go scoring, you'll go, okay, scoring for yellow, scoring for brown, scoring for gray, scoring for black, and then of course, then you'll turn it over here to number 2, and then the next round do the same thing, go all the way through, all the way up. Anyway, so that's what you'll do with the original. Like I said, I think it worked pretty good. I thought it was cool, like a little time clock thing. But the new one, like I said, this is the premium one that comes in the new version of Coal Baron. You would virtually do the same thing, except obviously this isn't the right scoreboard. This is the scoreboard that comes with the new version. And you set it up here. Like I said, you're starting the game. Then you complete a round. Okay, boom. Goes down on the 1. And boom, down the 2. And you just go straight across, follow the symbols. Like so when you run out of symbols, that means obviously you finish all the scoring for that round. And then boom, number 3, down. And then of course that's the end of the game. And everything, you score everything there, the last thing. Now, this is something I'm going to mention here. I'm going to show it too. So right here, you notice it says for every $3, or I'm sorry, every $5 you have left. For every $5 left, you get a point at the end of the game. For any 3 coal you have, no matter what color or anything, you get a point. For every contract you did not complete, you lose a point. And if your mine is not balanced, which means you got to have the same amount of tiles on the lit side as the unlit side, for every tile that's not, or for every side that's not equal, I should say, you're going to lose 2 points. I'll show how that works. But anyway, so it shows it here on the score thing, which I think kind of makes sense because that's where you're doing the scoring. But that's also kind of annoying because then you have to look at it. I'll show you in a second in the original one that all of these symbols here that talk about the, kind of like final end game scoring are actually on the Mineshaft player board of the original one. So I'm going to show that now. Okay, so bear with me here. So this is the original player board. Here's your Mineshaft elevator that you just gotta click into place, set it on a table or whatever your surface is that you're using to play the game. Okay, boom, it's there. Of course, obviously your elevator, goes in, of course, goes up and down, anyway. But, so here, so you notice the differences here. Here's where it talks about, actually, this is the difference, actually. I didn't realize it was different. These symbols here, this is where you have unused workers. So you have a nice little worker pile. I mean, it's not necessary, but it's kind of a nice little touch. This up here was reminding you that you can trade 2 of any coal, or I'm sorry, 2 of the same coal for 1 of any other kind of coal. So that was a nice little reminder. And then, of course, this is where you keep your contracts off to the side. It was kind of nice to have right there because obviously this is your mine. So this is where you'd be, shoving shoving coal cars, you know, shoving them on, you know, this side here. Oops, my bad. Putting it over there, you know, attaching it there, and putting this one, you know, over here on this side, you know, and it's upside down, but that's okay. You get the point. You know, putting the coal cars, and like I said, then of course you put your, you know, appropriate coal after you bought them. And it was just nice. You could see everything. It was right there, like I said, for trading your coal there. Reminder, like I said, your workers, you see how many workers, so you know if you were going to run out or not. And like your contracts, you could just easily look like, okay, I need, you know, 2 yellow and 1 brown. You could see, oh, do I have 2 yellow? I have 2 yellow. Oh, I have 2 brown. Okay, I'm good. You know, it was kind of nice. So this is the original board. And then on here, once again, this is the big difference I was talking about earlier, is it shows all the end game scoring. $5 for a point, any 3 coal for a point, any uncompleted contracts is minus a point, and if your mine isn't balanced, minus 2 points are each unbalanced, which this would be an example of unbalanced, in case you hadn't read the instructions. If I can find the right tile. Here we go. Here's an example of that. You have, you know, 2 tiles here on the right hand side, the unlit side, and 0 on the lit side. So that would be minus 4 points, because, you know, you got 2 on this side, 0 mine carts on this side. Anyway, but so yeah, so that's a big difference. Like I said, there is just not as much information on the board, which I think is kind of a shame. So there's the original. That's the original one. Here is the new one, which I'm sure, like, so once again, you probably have in front of you, but in case you don't. So here's the new one. Yeah, on the back of them, they're all colored for what color they are. These ones aren't. The backs, if you want to know, it's just blank. This is the original. Anyway, original, you know, coal baron. Over here on the left is the new one, the one that, like I said, I'm sure you're probably looking at, and if not, you're curious to know what it looks like. So here it is. You can kind of see, this is gonna be really bad. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. So here's some of the artwork. Once again, I apologize. Actually, there's a good thing. On the right, let me see, here's the crease. On the right on this side, this is the original artwork. On the left, this is the new artwork. So I personally think the newer artwork is a little dull, personally. I think the older one has more pop to it, more vibrance, more detail, but that's just me. Something that you will notice, I'm sure, as you saw, this is all one piece. Like I said, as you saw on the back, this is all flat, and this mine shaft is all connected. Like I said, it's all one piece. Whereas this one, which I'm sure as you saw, see, this is separate from this, so you kind of have to assemble it. But, you know, so from that aspect, I like the fact that the new one is all one piece, all complete. You don't have to assemble it every time like the original one. But now if you come up here, you'll see, I mean, it still has the coal about trading any 2 for any 1, and it still has a place for your contracts. It doesn't mention anything about your workers. I don't think that's a huge deal, but it was nice. Just if you wanted to do that, you could. But here's the big thing. Right down here, here's the new one right here. Just open space. It's just dirt, just brown dirt. And over here, here's the original coal baron player board. Like I said, it's nice having those end score things. What gives you points and what loses you points. It's actually more the important thing, is losing points, because you might not be aware of it. You might forget about it. And I think it's nice that it's included on the bottom there, and it's not here in the new one. But, you know, I guess each their own. I think that's kind of a downgrade, but I do think it's an upgrade as far as the mine shaft being being connected together, and you don't have to assemble it every single time. Okay, bear with me. We're coming to the end of the tunnel, as they say. The last thing that we're going to cover is the contracts. I'm sorry, I just realized. Actually, no, that's not the last thing. We'll cover the coal cars. So many components, hard to keep in track. Okay, so here, give me 1 second here. Grab the new ones here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna, I better grab that board back. Having that board is a nice little background. And something nice, have something hard and flat. Anyway. Okay. So here we go. So the contracts, I don't know. I feel like the contracts are virtually almost the same. So the ones here on the right here, these ones here, these are the original contracts. And these ones on the left are the new ones. These are the new. These are the old ones. As far as material wise goes, they feel virtually about the same. This one has a different. This is the new one. This one has like a different sheen or some sort of filament or something in it, so it makes it a little different. I feel like it's a little smoother. Of course, there's the back of them. Of course, if you want to know what the back of the original contracts is like, there's the back of the original ones. Yeah, the only thing I noticed is I think I like the clipboard look of this better, as you can tell. So you got the little metal bracket thing, and that just kind of looks like it's posted on like a billboard. I mean, it's got the little stamp and stuff, so I don't think it's really that big a deal, but it's just a difference anyway. And you can see, I guess they're almost the same size. Maybe the old ones being a little bit larger, a little wider slightly, but not by much. They're virtually the same thickness. Once again, I can try to show you, but it's probably not going to come out very good. Yeah, that's not very good. Anyway, the only thing that I've noticed is that's actually kind of nice is the coal symbol is a little bigger on the new ones here than the old ones. The old ones are kind of small. Kind of, maybe you could easily mistake, what they were. And I guess the other thing I will say is, especially in comparing these two, not these two. Get my cards mixed up here. If I can find a black. I really don't notice it with the black per se, I guess. It seems like so this is the original black. So I'm sorry for the shadow. You can see the black, the black pigment, or whatever I'm going to call it. And here's the black on this one. Now my lighting isn't all the greatest, but you'll see it's a little bit lighter than the original. Which, isn't a huge deal, but it is, I don't know, something that I think is, I don't know, I guess worth mentioning, I suppose. But in the long run, I think the contracts get the job done. At the end of the day, I think both of them have decent, the quality of the contracts is pretty good. Okay, put these aside over here. Now, last but not least, maybe this is the part you've been waiting for the most, I don't know, is the coal trucks, the coal cars, the mine cars, whatever you want to call it, the mine cars. So give me 1 second here as I have the new ones right here. New ones. I will say the storage for the original was virtually non-existent. I had to get, little sandwich bags for all the different components there. I apologize, that's bright, but anyway, but yeah, so the storage in that wasn't very good. I'll get to that here in a second. So we got a brown, a gray, yellow. Let's grab a black, grab one of each. I think hopefully I should have a gray, a brown, a yellow, and the black. Good. Good, good, good. 1 second here. Okay. Okay. So I'll line these up here. Brown, black, yellow, gray. Once again, I apologize. I'm not a professional cameraman. I'm doing this by myself, so bear with me. And I apologize if it's kind of shaky at times. Once again, I'm trying to do my best here. Okay, so here, and I think this is the real big difference in the games, is the quality of these coal cars. So on the right here, all these are the original Coal Baron cars. These on the left are all the new ones. Now, once again, I already covered the artwork, but you can see once again the artwork. I feel like the artwork is better in these, a little more crisp, a little cleaner. I do think it's nice they included guys kind of doing stuff in these, because all these are all the same. They're always just empty coal cars. But you know, and these ones actually show coal in them, the new ones. But I think the artwork is better quality on the new, on the old ones. I think the artwork is better. And the size, you can see the size here. Here's the original one. Here is the, sorry, I said the original. Here's the new one on top of the original. You can't tell, it's hard to tell, but it is a little, oh, you can see right there. Right there. You can see it sticks out a little bit. The one on the bottom is the original. So the original ones are a little bit bigger, little bigger base. Once again, comparing side by side, the one on the left, that's the newer one. The one on the right is the old one. So the newer one, the one on the left, is a little thicker than the one on the left, right. So I feel like the durability, it's maybe a little more with the new ones. But I feel like the varnish on the old ones, here's the old one, is better. It's a little more clear. I feel like the new one is a little, either there's no varnish or it's very little, and I feel like it kind of makes the tile look a little foggy, a little dark, a little grainy. But yeah. And then the last thing, of course, the nice thing about the new one, it comes with card sleeves, so you can sleeve your cards. And the other nice thing is the new one came with expansion cards, which they're virtually the same material as the contract cards. I haven't really read into what they do, but it is nice to have an expansion. Obviously, the original doesn't have that. I think they give little bonuses, something to do with, like, from the little bit that I read, said something like you deal them to each player and they play them, and you can only go to certain spaces depending on what cards are played or what order they're in, something like that. And they give bonuses. A little confusing, but once again, because it's new, I hadn't really read into it, so I apologize for that. And here's the very last thing I'll cover, and then I shall depart. Here is the new box that comes with Coal Baron. Here's a nice little insert thing. You know, of course, now the box is empty, minus the stuff that's in there. But so this nice little removable insert, like I said, you can put your coal car tiles in here, and you can, you know, little slots for all the cards that go in there, the contracts, and like I said, you probably put the money in here, or however you want to do it. The money, or you can just put the money separate. You know, I'll put other things in here, other components. And it is nice that, like I said, they're all in their own separate baggies. That's something I should add as well. All the components here come in these bags. Very nice. Whereas the original, all of these right here, these are all sandwich baggies that I just, you know, bought at the store and had to put all the parts in myself. They came in one giant bag. I had to separate them. So that's a little downside. And the insert for the original here is non-existent. Like, you can remove this outer white edge here. You can kind of remove that, and then it's just an empty box. But as you can see, there's really nothing to organize. I have everything in bags, plastic sandwich bags. But like I said, whereas here, this is nice. This is actually a really nice organizer, and I will say they did a good job with that. And so yeah, that is the I guess I'll call it the review of the differences. So final thoughts between the two. So yeah, like I said, the final thoughts between Coal Baron, the new edition, the one that just came out, and Coal Baron, the original OG version. Like I said, as you saw through the video, the new coal that comes with the new Coal Baron is an upgrade. Like before, it was wooden cubes. Of course, you saw the player markers. Like I said, the original is cardboard. The original ones, or the new one's also cardboard, but if you bought the deluxe, you got this nice metal one. But even if you didn't get the deluxe and you just got the regular base one and you got the cardboard one, I think that's the same. I don't think it's that big a deal. Money is definitely an upgrade. I had mentioned this is the original. It's like Monopoly paper money. The new one, it's different. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like Monopoly money. It's got this sheen kind of stuff on it. Makes it not feel as papery. I feel like it'll last a little longer. So like I said, this is new money. So I feel like for the win, the new game has better money, and better coal. I would say better meeples, except for that one that I showed that didn't have very good quality control. Just have people. Like I said, the contracts are virtually the same. Yeah, the contracts are the same. Like I said, the real big difference here, the two big differences I should say, but also the coal cars, not the right ones. The coal cars, like I said, the quality. The new one, the new artwork, the new one being the artwork is a little less crisp, and the sheen is a little not as good, and they're a little bit thinner, versus the old ones that I feel like the artwork are a little bit better, a little smoother, a little crisper, has a nice little sheen on it to protect it. I feel like the original one has better coal cars. And then the last thing that I'll say, then I shall bid adieu, is like says the boards. The boards, hands down, night and day. The original board, if I can open it. Like I said, grab this one here real quick. If I can open it with one hand. I'll pick that up later. So here they are side by side, kind of. So once again, original OG board, very sturdy, a very good board. The creases, very nice. It's, doesn't impact thing. It folds nice. Versus the new one, which as you can see, this wants to flop around like this is perfectly flat. And yes, you can say, well, this has been used. This was like this exactly when I got the game. It was always flat. It always sat flat. Whereas this one, it's a cheaper material. It's flimsy. It doesn't want to stay flat. And if you look down here at the bottom, the seam, you can already see the seam is starting to, get kind of weird and like become like a weak spot. So like I said, there's your differences. If you have any questions, just, send me a, reply to the video, or if not, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope if your game hasn't come yet that it comes real soon. And yeah, there's your review. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll talk to you guys whenever. And hope you have a great day. All right, I'm out.